All right, everyone, here we go. It's an all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is. It's straight up energy reading. This is better than the Super Bowl. This is it's Super Bowl Sunday when I'm pulling this, so I figured I'd add that in. It's better than the Super Bowl. This is the Leo soap opera. Right, and I've got somebody making plans here in my pre-shuffle. I said, what do you want to tell my people, my viewers of the Leo soap, of which there should be more. This is a very strong connection in this soulmate cycle. It's adjacent. It's slice number 5 of a 12-slice pie, and the theme energy, the core energy of this cycle is number 4. This and Gemini surrounded, they're both very powerful. Right? And they often tie together a little bit. They have similar themes, Leo and Gemini, very similar. So let's talk about this. The energies right now are very weird. Okay, I'm just going to say that. As we get closer to the world point, things are getting weird. Things are getting weird out in the world. They get weird in the soulmate cycle, and that, in an already weird anyway Leo soap opera, the Leo angle on this with this person in a toxic situation. It's the same energy I always get there in a toxic situation. They might be married. It could be, for most of them, it's a marriage. It really is. Or some sort of, which can be just a relationship with somebody. It doesn't have to be the piece of paper that says they're married. Right? But for a lot of them, it's a family. It's some sort of status they're trying to keep up, whatever it is. It's already weird. And with the energy getting weirder as we build up to the world point, I mean, I just walked to the store this morning, and it was so early I shouldn't have seen anyone. And I saw a couple of people. I mean, a couple of people walked past me, and the energy coming off them is this weird paranoid, almost a paranoid sadness in a way. A paranoid depression is what I would call it. That was the energy coming off of them. They won't make eye contact, that kind of a thing. I don't know. It's just very strange, very odd. Too many cops running around, too. A lot of them. I mean, like, what the hell's going on? That kind of a thing. 2 of Wands. I got somebody making plans here. But I feel like they get stuck here. The energies are very strange right now. And I've said, if you're doing well, don't keep it to yourself, right? Keep it to yourself. Don't tell people. I've said that a million times. This is not the energy you want to be pulling a wad of cash out of your pocket and going, look at me, I'm walking around with a wad of cash. You don't want to do that. All right, people are behaving strangely. I got the 2 of Wands. I got somebody making plans. The problem is, here's their mistake. They're telling people about it. They're telling people about their plans. I don't say anything that's not part of the energy. You got to think laterally here. Right? But this is the equivalent of pulling a wad of cash out of your pocket in front of somebody that's not doing too well right now. And with the paranoid depression energy and things like that, people will act out of character. They will do some crazy shit. You get yelled at, you get whatever. I got somebody wants out. They want out of a toxic situation. This is just the surface energy. And that's all I read on my way to the store this morning was the surface energy. And it's weird. I'm still washing it off me. I really am. I had to just like, good Lord, drench me in some kind of sage fire. Throw me in there. Just get it off me. Get off. It's 2 of Wands crossed by the 8 of Wands. They're making plans. They want out, but the problem is they're telling people. And why do I say that's a problem? Again, they got an idea. It's a plan. The 8 of Pentacles tells me it's a plan. Right? Somebody willing to put in the work. They've thought it out. They've thought it through. It's well planned out. It's a beautiful looking spider web. Something they've always wanted to do, something they think will make them feel better. It's the King of Wands, right? Ego energies. The 10 of Pentacles, they want to change their life. Absolutely. And that right there is bookending the 2 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles. And as I flipped through this before I hit record, I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, no, I could see they've got a good plan. It's something that they've always wanted to do. It's time to change my life, somebody's saying. And because here's the problem, and look at the energies that are tied together. Look at the backgrounds, dark, dark, dark. Right? These 3 are tied together. The problem is they're telling people. I'm just trying to give you some transparency. I always like to do that. Well, how did he come to that conclusion? Well, here it is. Take a look. You can all read surface energy. If you can see color, you can read surface energy. All right, and even if you're colorblind, you can see that this is dark. So don't come at me and go, I only see shades of... I don't give a fuck what you see. Right? No, I shouldn't. The problem is they're telling people, but their whole plan is ego-based. And the ego can be hurt. The soul can't be hurt. That being said, it can't. Devil energy can't get to it. It can't. It's all powerful. It knows no fear. It's made completely of love. And when you make plans from the soul, it's good. Somebody here wants to do something for their ego. And people are shooting it down. And it's very easy to shoot down a plan like that. Very easy. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is about. Hopefully it's about you. Let's pull a pyramid on this one. Let's do it. Let's shuffle the deck. Nobody can dissuade you from a plan. I tell you that so to try to teach you something about energy. Nobody can dissuade you from a plan. Get you to not do it if it's something that's truly from your soul. If you're easily talked out of something, it's surface energy, right? All right, let's see where we go. All right, let's see where we're at here. Come on. Let's go. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here, you found Steve Lovechero, you're here for a reason. This reading is timeless. Whenever you find it, you're meant to find it. Okay, we're done. 3 of Wands. Look at that. See? I mean, we escalate for the reading. It's beautiful. 3 of Wands is the overall energy of everything that's going to fall on the table. And look, it's the same fucking message, isn't it? I got a big plan. I'm ready to go. I feel like I can do this. Well, then why? If it makes you happy, then why are you so sad? If it makes you happy, then why are you messed up all night pacing? If you think it's a good idea, people are jamming them up. They have a plan, and there's too many. What I've got for your mind's eyes, I've got your person. I hope roles can be reversed, but I've got your person with a swirling energy, somebody with a plan. And then I've got arrows of energy shooting at them. I'm just giving you something for your mind's eye. Now, it can be all internal inside them. For some of them, it might be. Right? They get in their own way. But usually when I feel the energy this way, in my 40 plus years of experience reading energy, God, usually when I feel it this way, time's flying. It's other people with ideas. Very rarely, if I get an idea, very rarely do I tell anyone about it. I don't. I usually tell people about stuff I'm planning to do after the fact, you know. The worst thing I did, I broke that rule for this channel, and I told a bunch of people I'm going to go out there on YouTube. Oh my God. Everybody had an opinion about this, that, the other thing, and a tip about this and a tip about that. None of what they said was valid in the end. None of it came, this thing took off in its own direction, doing its own weird thing, right? Somebody told me I wouldn't have any followers for the first year, right? 13,000 the first month. So they were wrong right off the fucking top. They didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. 9 times out of 10, people around you don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're trying to protect their ego. They don't want you to succeed and do something better than they can do because it forces them to look at what a loser they are. Right? Same thing. It's the same difference, you know. Somebody here, again, they've got a big plan. They want to break free, and somebody's getting in their head. It's keeping them stuck. All right. With the Knight of Pentacles there. Deer in the headlights. All right, here we go. It's good advice most of the time anyway. It's good advice for this energy, right? Stay true to your... Oh, the Beach Boys got a song, I think, stay true to your school, right? Stay true to your soul in this energy. Be true to your soul. Be true to your soul, just like you would to your girl, right? And I think soul is school in their song. But anyway, here, how this person feels about you is here. How they see you is here. And potential final outcome for you is here. I'll clarify. I'll throw some universe cards at the end. We'll probably extend this because it's Super Bowl Sunday, right? And this is better than the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. All they're doing is throwing a ball around. A couple of guys are going to play. Some team's going to win. Great, terrific. Woohoo. I'm not one for organized sports. I don't really see the point. But anyway, if it's something you like, that's cool. Enjoy. Anyway, how do they feel about you? Seems a little repetitive to me. What's here? Ace of Swords. And what's here? 9 of Wands. That's how they feel about you. Well, you're their lighthouse in the storm, and they fucking know it, but they block it. All right? I'm curious as to why they block it. I'm curious. Okay. They're starting to get real, but it's, you know, the feelings are very deep, but what they show you isn't, you know, it's nothing. I imagine this card is filled with other people's ideas and points of view. Okay. How do they see you when they think about you? What do they think about? The Hermit. They see you as very wise. That's strange. They see you as on their level. Can I, as far as wisdom goes, this person might fancy themselves very spiritual. That comes up this in the Leo soap opera quite a bit. It's someone who they might be very religious. They might out on their Twitter or their Twatter or any of that stuff. They might put out quotes from the Bible and things like that, or quotes from great philosophers and stuff. For some of you, your person's like that. They see you on their level. They see you out on a journey. They see you on a soul's journey, right? Learning and growing. Answering those questions, right? Those that bother you so. Oh, very cool. What else? Yeah, the Strength card. Very passionate about your wisdom, about learning, about your spiritual journey. They see you on a passionate spiritual journey. Your heart chakra is open. You're looking for that soulmate. You're the soulmate hunter, right? The soulmate hunter. That's what you are. Okay. Listen, this is good. This is fantastic. This might be why they're making plans. But it's other people. You tell other people your plans. Other people, I say this all the time and I catch shit for it every time I do, and it's a fact of psychology. It is a fact. Anybody who's ever people watched knows that your friends do not want you to do better. Anytime you do better than somebody else, you're doing something brave, let's say. You're doing something brave. They admire that about you, by the way. But people around you, some may not. Anytime you go on a spiritual journey, you learn who's with you and who's not, right? Anytime you do something brave, you're going to have people that will try to talk you out of it if you tell them what you're about to do. Because if you pull it off, it makes them feel bad about their lives. It forces them to look at how, well, not so brave they are. You know, it is what it is. Nobody from my hometown, when I run into them on my old hometown, the old little town, right? It always reminds me of Stars Hollow from the fucking Gilmore Girls or something. Like everybody knows everybody's business. That little town, nobody from that little town wants to know that I turned out okay, that I succeeded, that I did whatever. They don't. They shut it down like that because it forces them to look at, well, they weren't brave enough to try anything. They just stayed where they are. You know. So again, it's not surprising if this person wants to be like you, that they've got people around them trying to shut it down. People don't like to be shown what a failure they are, right? It's a little bit of that. They don't like it. That's why they don't change their minds about things. They don't want to look. They bury their heads in the sand. This person's made the mistake of talking about their feelings right now. Telling people about this about you, telling people that they dream about you, that they like you, that they think you're, there's a lot of admiration here on some level. But there's a block. They almost feel like if they go towards you, they're going to let someone down. But then they feel like they're going to let themselves down if they don't. It's very interesting. The Leo soap opera is always an interesting study in psychology for me. I took a peek. What's the final outcome for you? Look, I'm going to give you this. All right? I said it's better than the Super Bowl. It wouldn't be better than the Super Bowl if this was a spectacular card like Judgment or something. All right? It wouldn't. It's the sad horse. It's 5 cups. It's 5 cups read with this. The fact of the matter is, this person is planning to come towards you. By the time they get done telling everybody around them, right? Most people listen to the people around them. That's the problem. I take advice from people, but I'm the type of person where I take it under advisement. The final decision lives with me. That's not the case with most people. Most people take advice from people around them. They get a bunch of opinions and everything like that, and they get so confused that they just shut down. Right? Okay, fine, I won't do it. Everybody seems to think I should, and so I won't. I have never made a decision. If I made my decisions that way, I would not be here on YouTube. I won't say nobody, but most of the people thought it was a bad idea. They won't understand. They don't understand energy. They just want the rainbow unicorn readings. They're not going to understand a word you're saying, Steve. Psychology. Nobody wants psychology in their damn tarot. Again. And I knew I could explain it in a way that people would understand it, that it would make sense to them, that cycles of energy would make sense. I knew it. I knew I could, and I did for the most part. Otherwise, I wouldn't still be here. Right? So, again, this person, in the end, for you, it's a little bit of a bummer because I think a reconciliation gets tainted by somebody's attitude. I think there's a chance that they show up, but I think it's regrettable in a way. I don't know. I'm going to have to clarify it. But again, these are very common energies. This is what happens when you listen to other people. It's shame. But I think you're ashamed of this person for listening to the voices around them. They're getting a lot of input. They're making the mistake of sharing their ideas with the wrong people. Sometimes it's better, if you get a business idea, for example, right, to share that idea with people who don't know you. Random strangers. Get to talking. Bounce the idea off them to see what they say. That's better than anybody. I mean, if you were doing a focus group on something, you wouldn't invite your friends and family to be a part of the focus group. If it's something that doesn't, because 9 times out of 10, if it's something that doesn't benefit them, they're going to push you away from it. If it's something that would benefit them, well, if Steve's viewer got rich, that'd be great for me. We could pay off the house. Well, yeah, sure, this is a great idea. This is terrific. They should do it, right? That kind of a thing. People are like that. I'm sorry, but they are. And that's why focus groups are done. You get disqualified if you know anybody that works for the company or the owner or something like that. That's why. That's how research is done. I don't know what this means specifically. It reads like communication because it's one of the cards that ends the separation phase of the soulmate cycle. I just don't know. I'm going to pull on the Ace of Swords. Somebody knows the truth. The truth is hitting them hard about how they feel about you. And they're getting blocked. I'm just going to pull on the Ace of Swords. I'm just going to do it. Let's see where we go. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. Again, how this person feels about it. Oh, my God. Remember that Wheel of Fortune is here when we clarify this. Okay? I'm just going to tell you that. Write that down. Wheel of Fortune crossing the Ace of Swords. What's so tough? Because it ties more to your final outcome than it does them here. All right? It's more of a spin here for this. This person, it's sort of like, imagine you had a wheel with prizes on it. Okay? And it had different prizes and you spun the wheel. And you didn't like where it landed, so you just spun it again. That's basically that energy. It's really strange. It's a never-ending Wheel of Fortune. It just keeps spinning. They don't like the answer. They're realizing. So what I'm saying is that's judgment, by the way. They're realizing the truth about you, about how they feel, that you're everything. You're the star. You're the lighthouse in the storm. But they don't like it, so they spin the wheel again. But the thing is, on the funny side, judgment is here. It keeps landing in the same spot. It keeps landing on the prize they don't want to win, which is you, apparently. Unfortunately. All right, why is judgment here? The Four of Swords. Yeah, again. It's only an illusion that there's other prizes on the wheel. It's really just you. You're the only prize. Everything else on the wheel, the people this person surrounds themselves with, don't want this person to grow. The people, I don't care if they're married, their spouse certainly doesn't want them to grow or do anything. It might be one of those relationships, if they're married, I've said this before, where they just have couple friends. They're not allowed to have friends of their own that the spouse didn't meet and approve of and all that. There are people that are in relationships like that. I would never be in one. I hope the fuck you wouldn't. But, you got to have independence. That's a key part of any kind of long-term relationship. You don't need to meet who my friends are. Half my wife's friends I've never met. I've never even laid eyes on them one time. Half of them, The other half I have because they've been here. They show up at I'm not going to hide from them. Oh, I'm going to hide in the back bedroom. Oh my God. I'm not going to do that. Sometimes this person is emotionally in an isolated state. In other words, they're sort of hermiting themselves in processing these feelings and all of that. I think a lot of the spin the wheel again is coming from outside energies. Sometimes, I'll tell you this, I'll add some hocus pocus. Sometimes when the universe wants to elevate us, it isolates us. Sometimes it does that. Right? Because we process things in isolation. So it's trying. The universe is trying here. It really is. Let's go on the star. All right, let's take a look. Remember the Wheel of Fortune. Remember the Alamo and the Wheel of Fortune. All right. Although the way things are playing out right now in the world, I think we've forgotten the Alamo. We need to remember the Alamo again. All right, here we go with the star. Why is it here? Here we go. Let's see where we're at. Come on now. Why is the star here? It's crossed by the Six of Cups. I will hold firm to what I've said before about your connection with this person. They manifested this. They manifested you in a break glass in case of emergency. Here we go. This is why the Leo soap opera is so tricky. I don't think, and don't read too much into this, I'm just shooting straight with you, okay? I don't think you were supposed to be together in this lifetime. Now, I don't mean that you're never going to be together. I'm saying I don't think you were supposed to. Let's imagine for a moment that the universe has a schedule of soulmates. You guys were scheduled for either next lifetime or the lifetime after that. But there's always a break glass in case of emergency. And this person hit some kind of low. They hit some kind of low, like check yourself in for observation for a few days, I'm losing my fucking mind kind of low, right? And when that happens, if the two soulmates happen to be here at the same time, happen to be relatively close in age, happen to be, and sometimes there's a huge geographical distance, the universe doesn't account for that, right? Because that's not in the energy. So you might be in the UK and this person's in fucking Tokyo. I don't fucking know. That doesn't matter. But it's a break glass in case of emergency thing. So that's why it's so crazy town. That's why the Leo soap opera is so nuts, so in and out. So they're coming, then they're not coming, then they're coming, then they're not coming. It's back and forth. It's back and forth. This is an ancient connection. These are really tricky. These are really hard. All right? Okay. And it's not an easy soulmate cycle anyway with the energetic storm we've got to deal with. Right, which is fucking up low vibrational people something fierce. Right. Temperance, it forces you. How does that play out in the soulmate cycle? Well, similar to societal energies, the energetic storm's energy creates a haze. It allows you, it forces you to explain away horrible things as, oh, well, whatever, that's just something that happens. That kind of a thing. So in the soulmate cycle, it plays out the same way. This person is living in toxin. But this cycle, the energetic storm, allows them to, because they're not living up to their full vibrational potential, they're technically lower vibration than you. So the energetic storm is having the effect on them of just explaining the toxin away. Oh, well, it's just like that. It's no big deal. Whereas under normal circumstances, if this energy wasn't here and the energetic storm wasn't here, this every 80 or 90 year storm, right? If it wasn't here, they wouldn't deal with the toxin for more than a second. They'd be out. Just like a higher vibrational person would. I look at their situation, I read their energy, I go, I would be late for the door. 5 minutes into this relationship, I'd be a half hour late for the door. You know, that's just the way it is. But lower vibrational people get trapped in the energy, and the most vile things can be explained away as no big deal. That's no big deal. You know, including the toxin that is this person's connection, whatever it is, whether it's family, a marriage, or both. Or a career that maybe it's long over. You're their angel. I said you're their light in the storm. You're their lighthouse in the storm. I already said it. It's the angel. It's right there. Why is that here? The Five of Wands. Yeah. Again, they can explain it away. They can explain away the five. They put up a fight toward you. Why? Because I might be in a toxic situation. I'll act it out for you. Probably Academy Award winning, but I'll act it out for you. Well, yeah, Steve's viewer is my angel. They're my lighthouse in the storm, but my situation is not that bad. It's not worth leaving. Their situation is terrible. It's incredibly toxic. Incredibly toxic. I have never seen the universe try so hard. Okay? I mean, it keeps on that wheel of fortune that was here. All of it is you. They can keep spinning all they want. It's all you. The universe just keeps bringing it back over and over and over again. Right? Anyway, that's part of what this energy does, you know. All right, anyway, here we go. Let's see where we're at. It allows you to explain away the most terrible things as just, well, whatever. We'll just whitewash it. It's no big deal. And they add up in the end to a huge big deal. You know, this person's going to look back when this energetic storm goes away. This person's going to look back in shame and go, "Why did I waste so much time in this connection? Why was I explaining away the toxin?" You know. I don't know. They're holding themselves back. And it's interesting because we're reaching a point where that's about to change. Because I see how they see you. Forget about this. We'll get to that. But I see how they see you. They admire you. You're on some kind of spiritual journey. You're wise. They can feel that they could be on your level. They tell themselves that they are on your level. And they're not. They see you as higher. They know you're higher vibration than them, but they won't admit that. They see you passionately answering those questions, finding the answers to questions that bother people so that just, on a spiritual journey. I mean, that's how they see you. This is a wonderful way to be seen by somebody. They see you as passionate. See you as someone who probably has some answers. Someone very wise. You probably are. Probably are on some level. If you understand the point I'm trying to make here, and why, trying to explain how can they stay. I get the question all the time, how can they stay in the toxin, Steve? It's just this soulmate cycle, which is part of the energetic storm. The same thing in societal energies that make society whitewash the most vile things. It's just, whatever, it's just normal. We're normalizing shit that's just like, what the fuck? Right? People do that in the soulmate cycle too. Soulmate cycle is a direct reflection of societal energies. They're whitewashing the toxin. It's no big deal. I don't care if they're in a violently toxic relationship. Their person smacks them around. They will validate it. They will find an excuse not to go toward the angel. This is excuse machine. The excuse machine in the wrong direction. Right? That's what this energy does. That's why this is a particularly difficult soulmate cycle. It was particularly difficult during World War II the last time it was here. It was incredibly difficult. All right. Here we go. But in a different way, there was less whitewashing then. There was less of that. Right? People got a little more real in that particular soulmate cycle. But larger planets were in different positions. We've talked about that. But anyway, this person, toxic situation, sure, they're trying to, everything I said, very valid here. 9 of Wands, let's get this. So what's the problem then? Let's talk about the 9 of Wands. So the other people that are around them aren't helping. The energy itself is already conducive to somebody being an excuse machine and whitewashing the toxin in their life. But here we go with the Wheel of Fortune again. It's right there. Again, it's... There's this, it's proof of what I said. They keep spinning the wheel. They're putting up a wall. They're letting other energies come in and allow them to do that. Let's spin the wheel again, is the advice they get from their friend Janelle. Janelle goes, well, you should spin the wheel again. You don't want Steve's viewer. Right? Really, it's Janelle that doesn't want them to have Steve's viewer, because Steve's viewer is great. And then Janelle has to look at her life and go, well, my life is shit now. People, misery loves company. You've heard that saying, haven't you? Well, it does. And when two people are sitting there and they're miserable, we're friends, we're going to go have drinks and talk about our shitty husbands. The other friend doesn't want the other one to get a good husband, because then they don't have anybody to go sit with and talk about their shitty husband with, and their shitty husband just gets shittier and shittier. That's all. It's all very simple, but people do it to themselves all the time. You know what the solution is? Stop making excuses and get rid of the shitty husband. I mean, duh. That's the, and again, I've got excuse machine after excuse machine here. What's on top? The 9 of Cups. Why is that here? The 7 of Wands. Again, round and round we go. Steve's viewer is everything I could ever want. Yeah, but you should spin the wheel again. Again, there's resistance. There's other energies, either internally with the energetic storm causing problems all by itself, but there's external energies coming in that are creating resistance to happiness. All right, so again, it is what it is. How they see you, the Hermit. It's the only one I need, and then we'll get right to that final outcome. It's all solid psychology here. But it's also the hocus pocus of the energetic storm. It's what's happening right now. And with the world point, hopefully a lot of people wake up. I don't know. But we're reaching a fever pitch with it. At some point, there's a whole lot of points of no return in February. At some point, be it out of the world or the soulmate cycle, at some point here, this person's going to be stuck with this toxic person. There isn't anything the universe can do. If it's providing the Wheel of Fortune, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. This is the gift horse. And he got rejected. What the fuck? Look at him. He's sad. I mean, he's very sad. Why is the Hermit here? I think this horse is saying to me, this is you. You're this horse. And you're saying, it's a shame, Steve. Yeah, I hear you. And I'm saying I hear you. But I've explained why. The Hermit. Oh, we're going to do a fly in the wall in the extended like I've never fucking done before. Leo soap operas don't get a ton of people that go to the extended, so it's I can really refine the shit out of it. I'm fine with that. If you don't want it, don't go. If you don't want to know what's going on in this person, don't go. It's fine. I got no problem. I want to know. I'm going to fly in the wall this motherfucker. All right, here we go. I don't care if it takes me an hour. I'm gonna dig and dig and dig. But right now, I'm trying to get an answer about you, and it won't give me one. Oh, shit. Did you see it? Did you see it fly out? Okay. We got to take them. These are sideways. The red's always on the bottom, so they're upright. This one was upright. It was the hangman. And these two are sideways, and they come out together. All right? So we go the King of Wands and the Lovers, and the bottom of the deck is the Emperor. Every time this person looks at you, they see what they could have had. Every time, I'm just going to riff on the energy because this is amazing. You want to know this. Every time this motherfucker looks at you, right? Here, they try to justify it. I've got all this stuff, but here you are. You're out doing stuff. You're free. You're on some spiritual journey. Every time, look, I'll just paraphrase. Okay, never mind the cards. Every time this person sees you, it hurts their ego. It hurts them. It hurts it big time because you make their life look bad, right? You are that person, metaphorically speaking, who misery loves company, that they metaphorically used to sit and have and talk about the shitty life with, but that went off and did something, There was a moment when you two were in each other's orbit, and they had their chance, and they blew it. And they know they blew it, and it hurts their ego big time. So they maybe retail therapy, maybe that kind of a thing. You cause this person to do some serious thinking that they don't want to do, looking that they don't want to look, looking at things they don't want to see. It is what it is. It doesn't matter, though, in the end. Here's why. Until they go on a spiritual journey, they're not going to rise above this energy. Right? They're going to keep justifying the toxin. They're going to keep whitewashing it as, it's no big deal. It's part of this energetic storm. It only affects lower vibes. I want you to think of it like a water level in a pool. Okay? How a swimming pool has like a little 3-foot kiddie section, right? Where it's shallow. And then if you keep walking, you go deeper in the pool. And eventually it's like, 12 feet, 16 feet? We'll just say 10 feet, something like that. Keep it easy. Okay? That's pretty much over everyone's head. Right? The higher vibrational people, they know how to swim. They can, they're either taller than 10 feet or they know how to swim. Either way, they can keep their head above the water. This energy, this energetic storm, it's over a lot of people's heads. They don't know how to swim. They just sink right to the bottom and they can't see above it. So there's nothing they can do until they go on this spiritual journey, until they raise their vibration. Raising their vibration is the equivalent of getting a floaty. All right, so they can float. And I don't mean a turd that's floating. You know what I mean. It is what it is here. You force this is about perspective. You force this person to look at their life differently. Without those two off there in the distance, this guy's got it going on, right? But suddenly it doesn't look as fun to sit there in the hot sun in a fucking metal suit with a bunch of shit, right? It doesn't. That's sort of what's going on here. This person's going in the wrong direction with that, I guess. I don't know. Why is the 5 of Cups here? It is what it is. Why is the 5 of Cups here? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at why the 5 of Cups is here. Final outcome for you, 5 Cups. I may still pull on the Strength card, but I want to see this first. What did I say to remember was here? Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. It's crossed by the 4 of Wands, fueled by the 6 of Swords. Somebody is choosing the easy way out here. Again, they're choosing the easy way out. The thing is, what they don't realize is you're actually the easy way out. Your connection is the easy way out. The happy new beginning is the easy way out. The 5 of Cups would indicate that they don't choose that, right? Your connection is the easy way. That's why the wheel is full of your connection. Every slot is your connection. Imagine the Wheel of Fortune game show where every slot is $5,000. Every slot. You can't miss it. But you keep spinning. I'm going to spin again, Pat. I don't want that. I still say Pat. It's always going to be Pat Sajak for me. Right? I'm not Who is it, Ryan Seek? I'm not a big Seacrest fan. I won't lie to you. What's on top? Anyway, the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune. It had to come out, didn't it? Had to come out. Bridge, the Four of Pentacles. Again, it's somebody who's holding back, somebody who just keeps spinning the wheel. They're afraid to take chances, and I think it's because, why are they afraid? Well, let's find out. Let's find out why they're afraid right now. Let's grab a fresh deck. Let's go. Let's pull on the fear. It's right there. I think it's what I said, the way I felt it. I think this is you ashamed of this person. You're ashamed of them. Right? I don't blame you. I would be too. They're whitewashing toxin. And the person that they're with, who I call Little Lord Fuckwit for the ones that are married, or it could apply to a family too. You know, they're more concerned with outward appearances. It really is. It's toxic energy, I think. Why are they afraid, though? Let's see if I'm right. Let's see. Whoa, okay, the deck split here a little bit. All right. Yep. Okay. Oh, well, the deck split. I don't know. I'm trying to catch the cards. I don't know what to do. I got 9 swords and 8 wands. Those were the original 2, if you recall, right? There's the 9 swords crossing the 3 wands that we had in the overall energy of the reading. 9 swords. And then in the pre-shuffle, we had 8 wands crossing 2 wands. There's the 8 wands. It is what it is. Somebody here is afraid. You got people around this person that they're telling them, they're talking about their plans, and people around them do not want them to have a new beginning. They want to keep them where they are. Underneath this, again, a stationary energy, the Knight of Pentacles. Why is that important? Because we got the 9 swords here, the 9 swords here, and the Knight of Pentacles here. It's the same fucking thing from a different deck. It's a repeat message. They're afraid because I'm telling you right now, their idea is, I'm done with this. I am going to go towards Steve's viewer. And there is someone, and they're making the mistake of talking about it. Someone around them, and I'll find the fucker. I'll find them. And I'll spend fucking 9 hours in an extended trying to find them. And I'll edit it down to 40 minutes just to make sure it's not too much to watch. But I'll find them. Somebody is telling this person, right? No, you don't want to do that. Right? And the net result, because of the energy itself, which already wants to whitewash toxin, man, again, does it with fear, of course. Well, that kind of a thing. It's this, because of the two. Because of the two, the net result is fear. And I think you're ashamed of this person for that. I think you're ashamed. I believe that the energies right now are revealing toxin. Be it out in the world or in the soulmate cycle, the energies right now as we lead up to the world point are feeling weird because they're revealing toxin. They're showing where things are very, very bad and very, very wrong and going in the wrong direction. And, again, the lower vibrational people are just going to whitewash it and they're not going to do anything. They're going to stay. This person's being shown how their relationships in their life are toxic. Even the people they're telling this to, who are trying to talk them out of it, that's toxin. That's wrong. Your friends they shouldn't encourage you to do things that are terrible, for example. But they should play neutral. They should ride the fence a little bit. They should say, you do what you think is best. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to give you the negative. I'm going to give you the positive. And you make your own decision. These are people around this person that want to make the decision for them. And the net result is fear, which causes somebody to hold back. Rather than it's too risky. It's too risky. I'll spin the wheel again, Pat. Right? There you go. That's what's there. Look at that. And that deck broke like that. It almost all fell on the floor. I only caught it just before I came in. All right. Fine. Let's pull 3 cards from the bottom and a crossing card. Let's see where we go. Unbelievable. 3 cards from the bottom and a crossing card. What else you want to tell my people before I go pull some wicked voodoo on this? It's important energy. I wanted to pull the Leo soap opera today because they're in the toxin. And I know toxins are being revealed. They really are. Things are escalating on that level. The universe is trying. It's put Steve's viewer on every slot on the Wheel of Fortune, and they keep spinning again. Well, we're spinning again. Okay, well, here, let me show you again how this is toxic. Right? The Problem with the DMs in this soulmate cycle are they started out and they've stayed relatively low vibration. They can't see above this energy. They can't. It covers it up and it creates a haze. I don't know. 2 swords, 3 swords, Knight of Wands, and there's the 3 of Wands again. 3 wands crossing 3 swords. These are red center, left, right. Can I paraphrase this for you? It offers you some hope with regards to this person. The energies around them are filling their head with the fear. The specific fear is you're just going to get hurt. You're going to. In other words, if they're in a toxic situation and they're talking about coming towards you, for example, then the argument is, well, then that you're toxic too. You know, how do you know Steve's viewer isn't also toxic? You're just going to end up hurt, and then you're going to end up with nothing. I would do nothing if I were you. I would stop and think about this a little bit more. It's almost like a seed of doubt, planting seeds of doubt. It's a very, very effective tool. It's an effective tool in business. It's an effective tool in the public. It's an effective tool here in the soulmate cycle. Well, Steve's viewer might be toxic, right? You might want to just stop for a moment and think about that. And once you do that, once you plant that negative thing, it's ruined. It poisons the well. You know, it's why it works. And again, the hope for you. So what's the hope, Steve? This person might make an impulsive move. I've said all along in the Leo soap opera, I think you connect with this person. You and this person get together because of an impulsive move on their part. This person has an impulsive nature. They sometimes say things, blurt things out and get themselves in trouble, or they just do shit and worry about the consequences later, and they're trying to work on that, but they haven't fixed it. They might be trying to work on that, but they're still like that. And we're coming into the cycle right now where they're about to do something impulsive. So this is your hope right here. They might just come towards you. They might just break free and do something impulsive. But right here it's very clear how they're being discouraged from doing it. This is their own nature for impulsiveness. It's still there. There's your hope. But at the end of the day here, somebody's using 3 swords to jam this person up. Well, Steve's viewer is probably toxic too. You know, it is what it is. I mean, it's like they talk about, oh God, it's so similar to societal energies. It's crazy. It's oh my God. It's like they talk about you know, they talk about how toxic their person is. Toxic, toxic, toxic. My person is terrible. I'm thinking about getting away from my person. And the other people's response is, well, what about Steve's viewer? Well, what about Steve's viewer? Exactly. And there's no explanation given. It's just a seed of doubt that points somebody in another direction and stops the conversation. That's it. It's effective. It's effective in this case. It generates a hold back fear. It's hard to get past. And the fact that it came out again from another deck, that other people are getting in their ear, that's a big deal. Take it how you want to take it, but this is what's going on. This is where we're at right now. There is a snowball's chance in hell they come towards you. And the extended, I'm going to do a fly on the wall, an extensive fly on the wall in this person's life. Figure out what the fuck is going on here, all right? Because they are talking about these plans to somebody. They're saying it's got to be a lot more than to themselves, all right, for it to come out again. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. If you want the extended, there's a couple of links at the top of the description, all right? It's there if you want it. Good luck.